Hello there. So before you get into this video, I just want to create some context here. So when I filmed this video, I didn't know what it was going to be called. I didn't know what exactly the whole idea was going to be, but I've kind of fleshed it out a bit. This video, it's actually going to be a series of TBR videos. So I'm going to be calling it the 5 Shelves TBR. I have 5 shelves full of my to-be-read books, and in order to get through those, I wanted to have my books picked out in different ways. So I created different tags on my Goodreads to be able to pick out my books. So I have them labeled like top shelf TBR, second shelf, third shelf, fourth shelf, and bottom shelf. So then I choose a book based off different factors. So for this episode, I am choosing the book based off of the highest rating of each shelf. So that's what this episode is. As I go through different series and pick different books, I'm going to be doing different ones. So for example, I could do lowest ratings, do a color generated, do number generated, and pick based off of the number, and so on and so forth. Do different ways of picking a book that way for each different TBR. I'm going to be doing this until I get all the books done. I explain in this video, but I have over 127 books I need to read. That's gonna take me a while. I cannot buy any more books because my bookshelves are full. I cannot get another bookshelf. There's no room in my room, so I just have to read these books and not buy anymore. I'm really hoping that might be a pipe dream because most likely I'm gonna buy some more books, especially once this self-isolation is done. That was all I wanted to say, so enjoy the rest of the video. Hey bookaholics, it's Isabel and welcome to another video. So today I'm going to be doing my TBR. I'm not going to call this a certain month or anything because I don't know if I'm going to read all these. I don't know if I'm going to finish them in this month. What I'm pretty much doing is I'm trying to get my TBR down. So I separated my shelves into to be read and read. So this whole shelf all the way to the bottom is all TBR. They are books I own that I have not read. So that is a problem. I have 127 books that I have not read. That needs to change. So I decided to organize my TBR into shelves, and then I'm going to read them different ways. So today I'm going to be doing the highest rating in each shelf. So I have one book from each shelf that is the highest rating, and I've been changing my reading a little bit. I've read a lot more in the last 2 weeks than I have the whole year, and that's pretty much because I decided to do my reading in a different way. Instead of just reading the physical copy and audiobooks, I decided to finally pick up ebooks. I haven't read an ebook in a very long time, not since my e-reader, and that's only because I lived in a small town then, and it was the only way I can get new books. Once I moved to the city, I kind of moved away from ebooks. I finally just decided, you know what? This will make me read a little bit more because I always find myself on my phone and I don't have anything to read. And so I've been reading an ebook, audiobook, and a physical copy to get through more books than I usually do. And it's been going pretty darn well. So that is what my plan is to get through these TBR, because that's a lot of books. I'm just going to explain all the books I have here. I have 5 books that I want to read. I have some that I'm going to be reading physical copy, some I'm going to read as an ebook, and some I'm going to read as a physical copy. So let's just get into it. So the first book here was from my top shelf, and that is Far From the Tree by Benway. I'm actually really happy this is on the higher ratings because it sounds like a very, very emotional book. I'm just excited to read it. I believe this one is available as an ebook. I know this has to deal with family, and I think they are adopted or they're being taken away from the family. I'm not too sure. I honestly have no idea what this book is about, so I'm excited to get into this one. The next book was from the second shelf, and that is Nowhere Girls, The Nowhere Girls by Amy Reed. I know this one's going to be an emotional book. This one is available on audiobook on Scribd, so I'm going to be reading the audiobook version of this. And I am actually really excited for this one. I know it's going to be a very tough one because it deals with rape, and it does deal with girl power, which I'm really excited for. And not getting over rape, but being supported when you are raped. I'm excited to read this. I'm really hoping it's as emotional and as high rating as it is on Goodreads, so I'm excited to get in this one. The next book on the middle shelf is The Book Thief by Markus Zusak. This book has been on my shelf for years. I've tried the audiobook, and I don't know if it was just my mindset at that time that I just didn't get into it. This one I'm going to be reading as a physical copy. I'm actually kind of excited because I know that there's different artist stuff on it, so I think it would be better to read it as a physical copy. The next one on my fourth shelf is The Storyteller by Jodi Picoult. If you've watched my top 6 Jodi Picoults, you know I love her. She's one of my favorite authors, and I haven't picked up one of her books in a very long time, and I'm kind of ashamed by it. Finally, I'm going to pick this one up. I think I might have an ebook on Scribd, but I might end up reading it as a physical copy. I'm just really excited to finally pick up a Jodi Picoult book because I haven't read her for a very long time. And then the last one on my bottom shelf is A Court of Mist and Fury. I read A Court of Thorns and Roses. I think it was like 2017 when I read that one, and I still haven't picked this one up. Well, no, that's kind of a lie. I did pick it up at one point, and then I don't know if it's because it's such a beast, but I just stopped reading. So I did find an audiobook on Overdrive. I have to wait for it, but if anything, I kind of want to read the audiobook while I have the physical copy in my hand. Kind of just have it read to me as I'm going through it, and then be able to pick it up whenever I want, if I want to read it as a physical copy. Just kind of a way to get me to actually read it is the audiobook, because sometimes it's hard to just pick up a book and get into it. I know that was the problem with me for this one, that I just didn't get into it. I don't know if it was because it was a few months after I read it, and now like it's a few years after I read the first one, so we'll see how this goes. But we're gonna give this one a read, and I'm gonna see why it is so hyped and why, even when it's all my 127 books, it is still the top rating. We're gonna find that out. So those are the 5 TBR books that I'm going to read. 5 books is a little bit easier than like having like 10 TBRs or something like that, because that just seems so overwhelming, and just no. Right now, I am currently reading 2 books. I am reading On the Come Up as the physical form, and then I'm reading Forbidden as an ebook. So I'm getting through these 2 books. Finally, I've owned this one since it came out, and then I've owned this one since I bought it at a book sale thing. So I've owned these ones for a little while, and finally I am reading them. So I'm going to be finishing these. I'm going to start The Nowhere Girls as an audiobook, since I don't have an audiobook at the moment. And then once I get done On the Come Up and Forbidden, I'm going to pick up one of the other books. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. Comment down below how you are doing with your TBR, how you are handling being quarantined. Mine is mostly being able to read. I have a course that I'm doing at the moment, so that's helping a lot. It's keeping me busy, but it's nice having little things like this going on as well. So yeah, let me know how you guys are doing quarantined, how your TBR is going, and if you guys are saved by the quarantine for not buying books, because I know I am. And I'll see you guys next video. Bye!